Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Out of my eyes! I never misspelled anything! Not one time! One time!
Welcome back to my Transformers series, guys. We have reached the Hilariocity title in this series, the second one, and welcome for the very first time to my new Hilariocity set. I had such a great time building this, and I was really surprised how cheap it actually was. Turns out nobody wants really crappy movies or really crappy movie memorabilia. It's all pretty much being given away. Especially that Turturro Battlefield Earth action figure. I didn't even know that shit existed until I looked it up. And now I own it. And I'm glad that I do. So Revenge of the Fallen was of course highly anticipated by tons of people, and I remember going to this with my friends, and when it ended, a friend of mine, he had brought his fiance, and she turned to me and she was like, "Wasn't that awesome? Didn't you love that?" And I was like, "Not really, not so much." And she went, "What? How could you not like that?" I haven't talked to her in a while. In my review of the first Transformers, I mentioned that it's kind of hard to be critical about the Transformers because, you know, it's just made for fun. They're toys that turn into things, and you can buy the toys and kids like it, and it's enjoyable and entertaining. It's tough to really look at these movies and be like, except with this movie. Because this movie's ass, and I don't like it at all. It's a lot easier when they completely miss the point of what fans want. And they go the exact opposite direction. In this film, Michael Bay and his writers thought, well, people don't care too much about the Transformers. They just want to see a lot of Shia LaBeouf's parents. We have them accompanying Sam to his first day of college, and the mom eats a marijuana brownie. I mean, what a great scene. We also are greeted with tons of dog sex. I mean, can you imagine actually being on set that day? Like instructing the cinematographer, okay, now slowly dolly in on the butt-fucking dogs. This entire film is actually filled with really annoying characters. His roommate from college, Leo, accompanies them on their entire adventure, and he just screams the entire time like he's addicted to ecstasy. And of course, there's Mudflap and Skids, the two robots that were heavily accused of racism. Oh my god, wait a second, I don't care anymore. What were my problems with this movie again? I forgot about everything. I love this movie. This movie's perfect. So let's talk about the plot of Revenge of the Fallen. The plot. I called it a plot. That was cute of me to call it a plot. It's really just a series of events that were written, possibly, because this movie was made really fast because there was a Directors Guild strike and a Screen Actors Guild strike, and there were all these possible strikes looming over this movie, and they had to like really quickly come up with a plot. And so what do we get? Well, a sliver of the cube from the first movie was stuck to Sam's shirt. And he touches it and he goes insane, and he starts seeing these words in his head, and it leads him eventually down this path to the ancient Fallen. And it gives me some of my favorite parts in this entire movie because he just goes nuts when he's in the middle of college. And he takes a book and he's like, what I dislike the most about this plot is that it all starts because he touches the sliver of the cube. Now this guy was running through the streets holding the entire thing for the end of the first Transformers movie. Like it was a big thing. He had to run up to the top of the building, and then eventually he put the Allspark cube into Megatron and everything. He's touching it. What does touching one little part of it have to do with anything? He grabbed the whole thing the first time around. It's so lazy! And just like the first one, we have a whole bunch of military subplots. We constantly cut back to the military, and some guy will say some big scene-ending line that's meant to strongly transition you into the next scene.
And no confirmed DSRBs on site?
None, sir.
Then people, we've got a problem.
And Revenge of the Fallen has one of the dumbest movie cliches ever. It's where you don't take the time to explain anything. Someone's walking really fast, talking really fast, and they got a paper. So no need for explanation.
Let's show you around.
down, but you gotta be in the classified access list.
I am now. Presidential order, Major.
Diego Garcia, pending further orders.
No, we take our orders directly from Chairman Moore Showers, sir.
Well, I'll see your chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and I will raise you a President of the United States. I have operational command now.
Hey, you can't be here. Hey, shut up. I got a paper and I'm walking fast. You got nothing on me, bitch. And if Michael Bay constantly hovering the camera around the bodies of many beautiful women wasn't creepy enough, here we have Rainn Wilson as the creepiest non-serial killer character I've ever seen. Maybe he is a serial killer. That would explain a lot. He's a professor in this class, flirting with every single hot girl in his front row. Now look, it made sense in Raiders of the Lost Ark when all the girls came to Harrison Ford's class, because Harrison Ford is extremely handsome and good looking. In that film, he was oblivious to it. He didn't even notice it. In this film, we have this guy, and every, like, porn star looking girl is in this front row wanting to fuck him, and he's totally into it.
For what do we know about the stars? Virgo.
The Virgin.
And once again, Revenge of the Fallen has another reference to one of Michael Bay's other films. Shia LaBeouf literally goes right up to a poster of Bad Boys 2 and starts drawing on it. Isn't that nice? There's also a Cloverfield poster. Interestingly, the Cloverfield trailer premiered with the first Transformers. I remember being there like, what is this movie? Is this a Godzilla movie? What is this about? So that's kind of a cool little Easter egg. But of course, he had to slap a Bad Boys 2 poster right next to it. You can even see a Michael Bay film, like the text right above it. Easily the best scene in Revenge of the Fallen is the forest battle. It's really entertaining. It's a big, epic action scene. It's about the best this movie has to offer in regards to fun. But don't worry, the fun is quickly replaced with the fact that John Turturro is in this movie again. Now, I love John Turturro as an actor, but in this film, his character, I just don't need him in this movie. I don't. I really don't need John Turturro in this movie. But he's in the movie, and trust me, I really did not need to see this. That's another thing that I'm not going to be able to unsee that this movie showed me. We got dog sex, we got John Turturro's ass, and this robot humping Megan Fox's leg. I just want to know, who told the people who made this movie that all of us Transformers fans don't really care too much about Transformers, and what we really want is dog sex, marijuana brownies, humping a leg, and John Turturro's ass? Whoever said that, they shouldn't have said that. So in real life, Shia LaBeouf had a hand injury during the making of this movie, and it's really clear that they just had to write it into the film because they magically get zapped to Egypt and they learn a whole bunch of exposition about the Fallen and all that. But I guess he got injured when he got zapped because suddenly he has a very legit, clearly medically applied hand brace. I mean, so lazy. I constantly find myself just in thought during this review, just reflecting. And pretty soon they're babbling about Orion's belt and that the 3 stars in Orion's belt point to something, and that's the answer, I guess. It really just feels like every day they came to set and somebody held up new pages and said, we wrote this. It has nothing to do with this movie, but we wrote it and we're all going to perform it on camera today. And eventually they just kind of strung those moments together, and somehow, because Michael Bay is good at assembling competently well-made productions, everyone was like fine with it. One of the coolest sequences in this movie is with the Devastator. That's some really, really cool shit. But of course, since we didn't have enough sex jokes already, the Devastator apparently has some balls. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't. I will say this. Megan Fox is better in this film than she was in the first. You can tell that she probably took some of that criticism and took some acting courses or something. I don't know. She is better in this movie than she was in the first one. Bumblebee's cool when he rips the thing's spine out. I'm constantly looking for things to praise whenever I talk so much shit about a movie, because it's not like everything in this movie's bad. There are good things in this movie. Obviously, the special effects and the production and everything, it's great. You can look at it. It's nice to look at. And that's about it. That's we're done. So of course we get the big, humongous finale action sequences where the pyramids are being blown up, and John Turturro is on top of a pyramid, and he sees the Devastator is going to seriously start to wreak some havoc, some world-ending, sun-exploding havoc. And he just grabs a radio and calls a battleship out on the ocean and goes, "You need to fire missiles at the pyramid right now, otherwise a whole bunch of people on the Earth are going to die." And the guy in the battleship is like, "Okay, fire a missile at the pyramid." What? This guy on his fucking radio got them to shoot missiles at the pyramids? Just fuck off. just end already. Gratefully, the movie ends pretty soon. Oh man, this movie, oh shit. Oh yeah, Sam Witwicky has the death vision when he goes unconscious. He has the death vision. And like, voices bring him back to life. This movie, man, I don't know what to say. Oh my god. Well, guys, stay tuned for my review of Transformers Dark of the Moon. That's going to be fun. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I hope you guys have a good one. If you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.